Before he defied Hurricane Milton on his 22-foot sailboat, choosing to stay anchored while many evacuated.
Big hurricane coming. What are you going to say to the hurricane?
Fuck you. You want me coming at me?
Yeah.
Before he became a viral sensation on TikTok, earning the nickname Lieutenant Dan.
Anybody, bring it on. I'm ready for you all.
Let's go. He's not leaving, baby.
Before local officials and thousands of TikTok viewers urged him to seek safety, only to find him celebrating his survival after the storm.
Lieutenant Dan, he was mad.
Joseph Malinowski, better known as Lieutenant Dan on social media, captured the attention of many during Hurricane Milton by refusing to evacuate from his small sailboat, the Seashell. As Floridians fled the state in waves to escape the incoming storm, Joe stood firm. But that's when the internet caught hold of his shrine of mugshots and criminal past, including battery against a police officer, drug possession, and attempted breaking and entering. Despite these controversies, Lieutenant Dan claims he's innocent of all charges, but his legal troubles continue to cast a shadow over his viral fame.
Lieutenant Dan faces a new challenge, and some might argue even more difficult than Hurricane Milton.
What's going on, guys? My name is Jessica Chinking, and I'm new here, so please go easy on me. We do have some new announcements that I share with you at the end of each video, so stay till the end of the video to catch up with them. You can follow me on my personal Instagram. Okay, let's get into the video on Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan was born Joseph Malinowski on July 25th, 1970 in God knows where, America. Outside of his arrest and criminal rap sheet, little is known about Joe's previous 54 years, but we will try and piece what we can together. We do know that he has a daughter.
I'm his daughter. I've had to keep tabs on that man for 10 years trying to make sure that he's alive.
You may also have noticed that Dan is missing a leg.
Here with Lieutenant Dan. Tell the people, give them an update, what's going on.
It doesn't seem like Lieutenant Dan wanted to publicly address how he lost his leg, but if I were to guess, and I don't want to point the finger, but drug use can result in the loss of a limb, and that includes a high chance when one is addicted to heroin and/or meth. This isn't a fact, just my assumption. The loss of his leg, the boat with his sea legs, and the approaching hurricane led Joseph earning the perfect nickname, Lieutenant Dan, based off the 1994 classic Forrest Gump. At 54 years old, Lieutenant Dan's decision to stay aboard his 22-foot sailboat during the Hurricane Milton made him an instant viral sensation. He live-streamed his experiences, amassing a growing TikTok audience as the storm approached. Unfazed by the dangers, he claimed his faith in God would keep him safe, sparking both admiration and concern among viewers. I personally do love when people trust the big man in the sky, so go Joe. Lieutenant Dan was featured on the Weather Channel, CNN, and on a live stream with TikTok creator Tampa Terrence, who helped him spread Lieutenant Dan's story.
He made it, guys. Let's go. Come on. He's alive!
Despite officials urging him to evacuate and police attempts to rescue him, Lieutenant Dan repeatedly refused to leave his boat. His common sense thinking that the safest place to be during a flood was in a boat. That made sense to some, and it quickly turned him into a local icon and internet hero.
Why you've decided to ride out this storm?
Because I believe in God.
People actually started pulling up to the Tampa pier he was tied off at just to meet him in person. Mind you, this was when a hurricane was approaching.
I really want something like 35 foot. That was the last boat that I lived on. I only bought this because it was in my price range.
Lieutenant Dan's viral fame opened doors, including a GoFundMe campaign to replace his aging sailboat. The campaign, initiated by Tampa Terrence, titled Support Lieutenant Dan's Dreams. The fundraiser aimed to raise money for a new boat, as his current vessel had seen better days. It had raised over $46,000 so far. They blew past their goal of $40,000 by 116%, but the fundraiser is no longer accepting donations, and Tampa Terrence and Lieutenant Dan are now beefing over the money.
So why are you saying I'm taking a gold from my husband? You know that's not true, Jack.
Well, why did you
know that's not true?
There were other acts of generosity, including Aiden Ross and Kick, who offered Lieutenant Dan a new boat and Kick's streaming opportunity, but when Lieutenant Dan's criminal past came to light, everything was put on pause. Those who had donated and the public at large started to question his complicated past, including multiple arrests and allegations, since stirred debate online, with some questioning his decisions while others continued to support, but those who supported him started to turn on him. So let's get into the criminal history of Lieutenant Dan. As recently as August 2024, Dan faced charges in Hillsborough County, which encompasses Tampa, for a misdemeanor including the operation of his vessel without a certificate of title. This raised questions about the legality of the boat he tried to ride out at the storm on. The case remains open, and his mugshot has been widely circulated online, leading to a shift in the public opinion. One TikTok user commented, "Lieutenant Dan's 14 mugshots go crazy, bro is a menace." While another said, "I can no longer be a fan of Lieutenant Dan, sadly." Some users went even further, saying, "Stop supporting this man's stupidity because you're also supporting a woman abuser." Unfazed by these revelations, Malinowski addressed the controversy directly, telling another TikToker, "I went to prison, I did jail time, but I have to tell you point blank, I am innocent of all the charges. However, the allegations tell a different story." In April 2022, Joe was released from prison after serving a 1-year sentence for a felony conviction involving an altercation with a police officer. According to court records and local reports, the incident occurred at the Irish Brigade Bar in Lake Worth Beach, Florida. After being asked to leave for screaming and breaking glasses, Joe punched a responding sheriff's deputy in the nose, leading to his arrest. In retaliation, the officer struck back, and Malinowski later claimed to have urinated in the back of the police vehicle. Yikes. His attempt to represent himself in court during this case was unsuccessful, and he was convicted by a jury in less than a day. His legal troubles didn't end there. In February 2023, another disturbing incident surfaced. According to an affidavit, Malinowski allegedly poured gasoline on a bench and attempted to ignite it during an argument with a woman. While the woman who was smoking at the time remained unharmed, she later told authorities that she feared for her life. The case resulted in Malinowski being placed under house arrest, with the judge noting his violent history in the margins of the court order. Yet the case was dropped for an unspecified reason a month later. With all the attention coming his way, much like a hurricane of online fame, Lieutenant Dan was eager to get paid for his newfound fame.
I'm excited, and I've never been excited, never knew what the hell it meant to be excited.
At 54 years old and a hurricane approaching, the man had no other option but to ride out the storm in his boat. Local officials, including Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, expressed serious concern over his safety. During a press conference, Castor made a stark warning. She said, "I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of these evacuation areas, you're not going to make it." But Lieutenant Dan remained unfazed. He continued to engage with his growing audience, sharing updates on his life and experiences. As the storm passed and the sun rose over Tampa Bay, Lieutenant Dan stood as a symbol of defiance and survival. In the end, it appears he did work out some type of deal with Kik and Aiden Ross, and you should be able to find him streaming his boat's journey online. Let's all wish him the best.
We have a big announcement that's going to allow you to get a lot closer to Hollywood. Now, before they are famous, they've entered into an epic new partnership with Mogul Productions, utilizing the magic of Web 3.0. Now, have you ever wanted to land a walk-on role in a Hollywood movie? How about getting a producer's credit? How about going to some red carpet events, some meet and greets with the stars, and more? You can even submit your own productions and have them reviewed by some Hollywood execs. I myself, I've got a sitcom I'm going to be putting on the site. Now, if you don't believe me, well, Mogul Productions, it was behind the release of City of Dreams. Now, this was a film promoted by Sylvester Stallone, Mike Tyson, and executively produced by Tony Robbins himself. So if you've been waiting for your chance to get your big shot at getting in on all the action show business has to offer, well, we're encouraging you to check out the Mogul Productions website right now. There's a link in all our recent uploads, and here are some of the current opportunities that are up for grabs. The film The Caretaker, you can star in the film and get taken out by lead actor Robert Bronzy. Can't Escape the Allure is another project, and on that you can get a producer credit. Also, Rello Renzano's upcoming album. Now, there was a spot to be an extra in the new film Texas Nightmare, currently being filmed in LA, but sadly, it's filming right now. So if you weren't already on the site applying, you would have missed it. You can click into each project on the site and you can read more details about the project, who's involved, and what exciting perks are up for grabs. We'll be bringing you new updates each and every week about this epic collab between Before They Are Famous and Mogul Productions. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of each video so you don't miss out. All right.